Couple projects going today. Boy, it's nice being retired. This is the MonGoose that a guy actually was going to give me, but I gave him $20 for it because I didn't feel right just taking a bike. I just cleaned it up. I used some tire black, actually bleach white. I use bleach white. I don't use the tire black stuff. And got it really cleaned up real nice like. And I'm actually going to electrify this one. I've got the motor here. This is a 500 watt Verstrom, which is Tanxing, I think. Same thing. And I used one of these on my wife's bike and it seemed pretty good. Very basic though. Very basic indeed. So I got that, and I got this battery, just came in today, that hangs on the frame, and the chargers with it and everything, so I'm really set to go on that guy. And wouldn't you know it, the first thing I did is I lost half of the magnet that goes on for the speed sensor, so I had to go to Ace Hardware and pay $2 for a nut, a metric nut. Silly me, I got to be more careful when I unbox things. And I had a lady bring me this. It's got a Bosch unit on it, but they put the battery so it hangs underneath, which is bad for lots of reasons. Really hard to get to, and it would hit if a rock or something was there, it would actually hit the battery. So I'm going to mount the battery on the side here on this bracket right here, because she's got a saddlebag that sits above it, and it doesn't need to hang down on the sides like that. So I'm going to mount the battery there. So I'm just moving the battery is all I'm doing on this one. And then she bought another one just like this, and I'm going to put a Viribus drive unit on that one, just like I have on my bike there, because I really like those units. It really seems like a really well built, highly configurable unit. So I'm going to do other trike for her after we get this done. And I sold her a carrier that she can put behind her car and drop this bike on it. She can put one bike in her car and have one in the carrier, so her and her sister can ride together, because they each have one like this, identical unit. So that's that project. So I'll probably get that one done real quick like, and then we'll start filming this one. And my neighbor gave me a bike, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. If I'm going to convert it or not, I have to do some heavy-duty thinkage there. And then another project, I just got a lithium battery in for my golf cart, which there's a story which we'll address some later date. So anyway, that is the lead up to what's happening here in the Stormy K's little bike shop. Well, that certainly didn't take long. The battery was mounted right here, so you had to tip the bike like this to get the battery off. And she had these this rack on the in front of the wheel here, which was actually kind of set up for saddlebags, which she doesn't use. Let me move this stuff out of the way. So I said, why don't we just mount the battery on the side there? Turns out there was enough wire and everything. And there. Battery sits there really nicely and easy to get off. Oh, crash. Oh, that could have been a disaster. So it fits real nice there. The key's on the way on the upside. So really easy to insert the key to unlock the battery, and it just pops right off of there. I think she'll really like this. And it wasn't barely any work at all. But I'm going to go through the bike, I'm going to oil the chain, clean it up real nicely, and get a hold of her and say, you can come fetch it. So, yeah, I think I started on this half an hour ago. So, it really went quite well. I had to drill 2 holes, that was it. So, we'll get her cleaned up and give her the phone call. Well, after I got the battery done, I thought I should go through the whole thing and make sure it's all tuned in, just because I have the time. I did add this extra strap on the battery to keep it from oscillating, and I was afraid in time it would probably weaken the attachment here. So that really helps. Just put a little piece of Velcro that hooks onto here and it keeps it from doing that. Well, that Velcro really sticks. There. Yeah, so that firms it up real nicely. And she's got a little saddlebag thing that goes in here, plus that one. One thing I did was, this wheel had a real flat spot in it. You can't see it because I got rid of it. But the white wall actually was tucked into the rim, it was that bad. So I deflated it and got the bead to set correctly. So that runs nice and true. I oiled the chain, cleaned it up a little bit. I moved the speed sensor where it's supposed to be. It was located right here where the attachment bolt is. The sensor's right here. So I got the magnet right where the sensor is. And cleaned it up real nice. One thing about these TerraTrikes is in the steering head here, there's a washer right here. If you tighten this top thing down, it binds up the steering real bad. So you get what they call a ball joint memory, where you turn and it doesn't return back to neutral. So what you have to do with that is you loosen this top one, so it's just a little bit loose. Loosen your pinch bolts and let the spindle free up, and then tighten these, and then you snug this up with just 2 fingers. Just enough so it doesn't come loose. That's all you want to do with that. You don't want to torque those down. It should have just a little bit of resistance, but not stiff. Now this one here was really stiff. I mean, I had to take it apart and pull the spindles out and grease them and everything. And this is unique, I think, to TerraTrike, is you got to be real careful when you tighten these things down. You don't ever tighten these down first. You always do the pinch and then these, so you don't tighten up the play in the spindle. So, got that all done. I went through the whole thing to make sure everything was good. I oiled the chain and kind of did a little investigation on the drive unit here, which is a Bosch Active Plus unit. I thought it was a 750. Then I was thinking, well, it looks more like a 500. It's actually a 250. So it's a 250 watt unit. One thing that I was surprised at, it's actually a level 1. There's no throttle. It's just got a real simple display and torque sensing, and that's it. Which it kind of surprised me, but I guess it is what it is. Let's see, what does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's got a 8-speed cassette on the back. One thing I don't like about these is look at how low that derailleur is. I mean, it's off the ground by not even an inch. And that's in the lowest gear. But still, that's a little disturbing. When you go in the smaller gears, it swings out of the way, so it's not near so bad. But, you know, this arm here is really extra long. On most of them, it'd be about here, it'd probably be an inch shorter. I don't know, that's one thing I picked up on it. On the good side, though, this thing is really well built. It's got extra gusseting here at the crosshead, so the boom and everything is really well supported. The motor actually has this extra strut here, which really reinforces it so it doesn't have problems with torque twisting or anything like that. Pretty heavy duty unit. You know, TerraTrike is a pretty good unit, I think. Really nice seat, very comfortable. That's an excellent seat. One of the best I've ever come across, to tell you the truth. You know, compared to, well, this seat's okay, but you know, that's pretty basic machine right there. Where this is a little bit more in the deluxer model. So I kind of give it a thumbs up. I think, you know, there's always going to be something that isn't 100% right. But all in all, I'd say it's a pretty nice unit. So I'm done with it, and she's going to bring me one just like this, and I'm going to do a conversion on that. But I'm putting a 750 Viribus on the front, which is going to be exactly like the one I have on this one. It's going to be this unit, which is 750 watt, and this one is a level 2, so it's got all the controls. It actually has a light that goes with it. It'll be quite an upgrade for her. So yeah, so that's the project that's completed, and I'm going to move on to this guy, I guess. And as usual, things went a little bit haywire. I got the correct unit on this one. I've got the 750 or the 500 watt 48 volt unit, but they sent me a 36 volt battery. So now the battery has to go back and I have to get a 48 volt. It's always something. And on that one, I'm going to actually be putting in this unit here, which is a 500 watt V-Strum. And I think I mentioned this before. So that's going in. It's got the throttle and all the doohickeys that you want. It's got a kind of a simplistic display, but anyway, it's more than adequate. And here's the battery they sent me, which is 100% wrong. So I'm working with them to get that exchanged.